Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the another session of management accounting. In the last session we have calculated an example. These all are the example for practice. All are like our example number 11 that we have calculated yesterday. So these all the examples are for the practice. So just write down the numbers 20, 22, 23, 25, 37 and 40. Page numbers are also written. So these are all are the examples like our example number 11 that we did yesterday. So today we are going to start with example number 18, Jigar Limited, on page number 95. So let us have a look at the example first. If you don't have the textbook, take it right now along with you and then start the video. Starting with the details given, calculate stock turnover ratio, proprietary ratio, current ratio, liquid ratio, rate of return on capital employed, rate of return on equity capital, net profit and creditors ratio. Then the balance sheet is given starting from equity, preference, general reserve, P&L account, debentures, creditors, bills payable, provident fund, bank overdraft and outstanding expense. On the asset side we have land and building, machinery, temporary investment, for the first time it is there, stock, debtors, prepaid expense, advance income tax, bills receivables, cash and bank and debenture discount. So temporary investment is considered as your current asset and debenture discount is considered as your fictitious asset. Even advance income tax is also considered as the current assets. Fine. Additional information. Cash sales is 20% of total sales. Opening stock is given 1,25,000. Debtors ratio 90 days. Gross profit ratio 40% of sales. Net profit before interest and tax, that is EBIT, 2,50,000. Rate of taxation 50% and working days are 360 days. So here one answer of one ratio is given, that is debtors ratio, right? Certain other informations are also missing. So this example can be called a reverse type of example, under which the answer of any of the ratio is given and by using the same formula we can find out certain informations which are used for calculating the other ratios. Fine. So starting with first, stock turnover ratio. How to crack such kind of reverse example? Firstly, you can do one thing. You can make a list of the items which are needed for such ratios. For example, for stock turnover ratio we require COGS, average stock. For proprietary ratio we require proprietor's fund and total real assets. Likewise also you can prepare the list and calculate one after the other items, and then also you can place in the formula, or just give the heading of one ratio and start calculating the necessary information. That is also can be done. So starting with stock turnover ratio. So for calculating stock turnover ratio we require COGS, that is cost of goods sold, which can be found out only after finding out the amount of sales. So how can we get the COGS? Because the formula of stock turnover ratio is COGS upon average stock. So COGS can be found out by using two formula, either sales minus GP or opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock. As we don't have purchase, so we cannot use the second formula. We have the amount of GP. The sales can be found out by using the formula of debtors ratio. So this formula, sales minus GP, will be used for calculating COGS. So the sales can be found out by using additional information number 3, means gross profit ratio is 90 days. So for calculating COGS we require sales, and for calculating sales we can use the ratio of the formula of debtors ratio. So answer of debtors ratio is given 90 days. So I am writing 90 here. Debtors are given 2 lakhs and bills receivables are also given 50,000, 360 as it is, and credit sales will be credit sales as it is, because the amount of credit sales is not given, right? So by solving this equation, we get the amount of credit sales at rupees 10 lakhs. This would be cross multiplied. So credit sales will go here and 90 will be here at denominator. We get the amount of credit sales, that is 10 lakh. Then one more information is given in the example related with the ratio of cash and credit sales. That is, cash sales is 20% of total sales, which means credit sales is 80% of total sales, right? Total sales માંથી જો 20% cash sales હોય, so remaining 80% શું હોય? Credit sales હોય. So credit sales 80% amount 10 lakhs છે, તો cash 20% amount કેટલી હોય? So that is cash sales is 2,50,000. So total sales કેમ મળશે? Cash plus credit. So total sales will be 12,50,000. અહીંયા 20 ની જગ્યાએ ટોટલ 100 કરી નાખશો તો ટોટલ સેલ્સ અહીંયા જ મળી જશે, રાઈટ? સો ફર્સ્ટલી from debtors ratio we have calculated credit sales. By using the additional information number 1, we found out total sales, and now on this basis we can calculate our COGS. So now the COGS can be found out as this: COGS equals to sales minus GP. So GP is 40% of sales, means 5 lakhs. So 12,50,000 minus 5 lakhs. So COGS is 7,50,000. Average stock, opening stock plus closing stock upon 2. So opening stock is given as additional information number 2. Closing stock is given in the balance sheet. So we get the average stock rupees 1,50,000. So stock turnover ratio can be calculated as COGS 7,50,000 divided by 1,50,000. So answer is 5 times. So stock turnover ratio is 5 times. This is the answer, right? Now second, proprietary ratio. So for proprietary ratio, formula is proprietor's fund upon total real assets. So for proprietor's fund, in this example, that will be equity, preference, general reserve, P&L account minus debenture discount. These two are considered as reserve. This is the fictitious asset, equity share and preference shares. So 4,50,000 plus 2,50,000 plus 2 lakhs plus 1,70,000 minus 5,000. So proprietor's fund is 450 plus 250 plus 2 lakhs $10,65,000, and total real assets will be total assets minus fictitious assets. So 15 lakhs minus fictitious asset means our debenture discount. So answer 14,95,000. So now proprietary ratio will be 10,65,000 divided by 14,95,000 into 100. So that is let me check this amount. Sorry, this is 4 lakhs. So here it is 15,000, 10 lakhs 15,000. So 10 lakhs 15,000 divided by 14,95,000 into 100. So that is 67.89%. So proprietary ratio is 16.89%, right? This is 10,15,000, 15. Moving further with the third calculation of current ratio. Formula: current assets upon current liability. Current asset will be temporary investment plus stock plus debtors plus prepaid expense plus advance tax plus Bills receivables plus cash plus bank. So 2,70,000 plus 1,75,000 plus 2 lakhs of debtors plus 30,000 of prepaid expense, 80,000 of advance tax, 50,000 rupees of bills receivables, 20,000 rupees of cash and 40,000 rupees of bank balance, right? So the total of current assets is 8,65,000 rupees. Okay, total of all this is 8,65,000. Whereas current liability will be in this example creditors, bills payable, provident fund, bank overdraft and outstanding expenses. So that will be 1 lakh plus 50,000 plus 30,000 plus 40,000 plus 10,000. So total of current liability is 2,30,000. So now current ratio will be 8,65,000 divided by 2,30,000. So current ratio will be 3.76:1. That's the answer of current ratio. So whenever I am having the current asset of rupees 3.76, I am having the current liability of rupee 1. That's the interpretation. So this is the calculation of current ratio. Now moving further with the calculation of fourth information, liquid ratio. So formula, liquid asset upon liquid liability, whereas liquid asset means current asset minus stock. So we have the answer of current assets 8,65,000 minus stock 1,75,000. So that is 6,90,000 is my liquid assets, and liquid liability will be current liability minus bank overdraft. So current liabilities are 2,30,000 and bank overdraft is of 40,000. So that is 1,90,000. So liquid ratio is 6,90,000 divided by 1,90,000. So that is 690 divided by 190. So that is just a second. So 690 divided by 190, that is 3.63:1. So this is the answer of current ratio of this example. Next, rate of return on capital employed formula, EBIT upon capital employed. So EBIT, which is directly given, capital employed will be equity share 4 lakhs plus preference shares 2,50,000 plus general reserve 2 lakhs plus P&L account 1,70,000 plus debentures 2,50,000 minus fictitious assets of 5,000. So the answer is 4 lakh 4 lakh plus 250, so 6,50,000. So that is 12,65,000 rupees of capital employed. So now return on capital employed will be 2,50,000 divided by 12,65,000 into 100. So return on capital employed is 19.76%. So this is the answer of return on capital employed. EBIT upon capital employed. Okay. So this is the answer of capital employed, rate of return on capital employed. Next, rate of return on equity capital. So formula, divisible profit upon equity share capital. So for finding out divisible profit, we need to follow our EBIT table. Starting from EBIT, less करिए interest on debentures, that is 2,50,000 into 8%, so 20,000. The item received is called profit before tax. After deducting 50% tax from this, we get the profit after tax. This is nothing but our net profit. And after deducting 25,000 of preference dividend from this net profit, we get our divisible profit. So return on equity capital will be 90,000 divided by equity share capital 4 lakhs into 100. So 90,000 divided by 4 lakhs into 100. So that is return on equity capital is 22.5%. It means if my equity share capital is of rupees 4 lakhs and if my divisible profit is 90,000, so it is said that my shareholders are getting 22.5% return on their equity capital. Okay, so this is the calculation of rate of return on equity capital. Moving ahead with net profit ratio. So both this information we have just calculated previously. Net profit we have calculated in the previous table, and sales we have calculated at the time of calculating COGS. So directly we can get the answer. 1,15,000 divided by 12,50,000 into 100. So that is 9.2% is my net profit ratio. Okay. And the last one, creditors ratio. Formula, creditors plus bills payable upon credit purchase into 360 days. Right? So now credit purchase is missing. Even in purchase is also missing. So for calculating credit purchase, total purchase is found out by using the formula of COGS. Right? So purchase wali COGS ni formula use kariye. We have the answer of COGS that we have just found out under information number 1. So COGS 7,50,000, opening stock 1,25,000 plus purchase minus closing stock 175. So by solving this equation, we get our total purchase rupees 8 lakhs. So now, as there is no information regarding cash purchase and credit purchase is given, it is assumed that your total purchase is completely on credit terms. So your total purchase and credit purchase are equal. I have also written the note over here, as nothing is specified in the example related to the cash credit ratio of purchase, the total purchase is assumed to be on credit basis, right? So creditors ratio will be creditors plus bills payable upon total purchase. Here total purchase is considered to be your credit purchase. So your creditors ratio is 67.5, means 68 days, right? So within 68 days we need to pay our creditors. Now such kind of examples for practice which is there in your book. So example number 16, 28, 29, 31 and 32. 5 of them are in practice. The page numbers are also written over here. Okay. So in the next session we are going to calculate one more typical example like this, and then we'll start with the last unit of our syllabus. Okay. So I am just changing the focus so that it is easily visible to you. See, this is the first page of today's session. This is the last page of yesterday's session along with the example numbers 20, 22, 23, 25, 37 and 40. Now first page of today's session. Second page. Third page. Fourth page. Fifth page. Sixth page. Next. Next. And the last page along with the examples for practice. Okay, thank you all, and don't forget to write all these things in your book.